Close your eyes for a second and imagine this 5 years from now. Two versions of your life exist. In one life, you stayed comfortable. You kept delaying your goals. You kept making excuses. You kept telling yourself, I'll start tomorrow. And now you wake up every morning feeling empty because deep inside you know you betrayed your own potential. But in the other life, you became obsessed with growth. You became disciplined. You became dangerous with your focus. You pushed yourself when it hurt. You worked when nobody was watching. And now your life looks completely different because you refuse to stay average. Now listen carefully. The scary part is this. Both futures are being created by what you do today. Not next year, not someday, today. Most people watching this video will never become successful. Not because they are untalented, not because they are unlucky, but because they are unlucky, but because they are addicted to comfort. Comfort is destroying dreams every single day. People are scrolling instead of building, sleeping instead of grinding, complaining instead of changing, talking instead of working. And slowly, without realizing it, they become prisoners of their own excuses. But there are a few people watching right now who are different. A few people who are tired of being average, tired of doubting themselves, tired of starting and quitting, tired of watching life pass them by while they waste their potential. Maybe that person is you. Maybe deep inside, you know you were made for more. You can feel it. That voice inside your head that refuses to settle. That hunger that keeps bothering you at night. That frustration you feel when you know you are capable of greatness, but your habits are keeping you stuck. That feeling is not weakness. That feeling is your future calling you. But hear me carefully. Your future does not care about your excuses. It does not care that you are tired. It does not care that you are tired. It does not care that life is unfair. It does not care that people doubt. Tiju, the only thing your future responds to is action. And the truth is brutal. Every single day you waste, someone else is getting stronger. Someone else is becoming more disciplined. Someone else is building the life you keep dreaming about. While you hesitate, they work. While you complain, they improve. While you sleep, they prepare. That is why your life will only change when your standards change. You cannot live the same way and expect a different future. You cannot keep choosing comfort and expect greatness. At some point, you must make a decision, a real decision, not a temporary emotional decision, not motivation for one day. A decision that says, I will no longer betray my potential. Because once you become addicted to hard work, once discipline becomes your identity, once pain no longer scares you, you become unstoppable. And today, your transformation begins. People think motivation is the key to success, but motivation is unreliable. Motivation is oceanal. It changes with mood, energy, weather, opinions, failure, and comfort. Some days you wake up feeling powerful, focused, and ready to conquer the world. Other days you wake up tired, frustrated, distracted, and full of doubt. If your success depends only on motivation, then your success becomes temporary because emotions are temporary. That is why discipline is more powerful than motivation. Discipline is the ability to keep moving even when you do not feel like it. Discipline is showing up when your emotions tell you to quit. Discipline is choosing growth over comfort again and again until excellence becomes part of your identity. Anybody can work hard when they feel inspired. Anybody can chase a dream when everything is going well. The real test happens when life becomes difficult. The real test happens when you are exhausted, when nobody supports you, when results are slow, when failure embarrasses you, and when the pressure becomes heavy. In those moments, motivation disappears, pairs, excitement fades, emotions become weak. That is where discipline takes control. Discipline says, I do not care how I feel today. I made a commitment and I will honor it. That mindset separates average people from great people. Look at the people who succeed in any field. Athletes, entrepreneurs, artists, leaders, creators, and champions all have one thing in common. They mastered consistency. They trained themselves to perform whether they felt motivated or not. They understood that feelings cannot lead your life because feelings change too quickly. One day you feel unstoppable and the next day you feel uncertain. If you follow emotions every day, your future becomes unstable. Discipline creates stability. Discipline creates structure. Discipline creates momentum. Think about going to the gym. The first few days feel exciting. You feel motivated because the vision is fresh in your mind. You imagine becoming stronger, healthier, and more confident. But after some time, soreness appears. Progress slows down. The excitement fades. You wake up early and feel tired. Suddenly the bed feels more comfortable than your goals. That is the moment that matters most. Not the first day, not the easy day, the hard day, the day you do not want to go. When you still get up, still train, and still push yourself, you are building discipline. Every discipline, action strengthens your mind. You are teaching yourself that excuses no longer control you. Discipline is not about perfection. It is about commitment. There will be days you fail, days you feel weak, and days you lose focus. But disciplined people do not stay down. They reset quickly and continue moving forward. They understand that success is built through repetition, not emotion. Small disciplined actions repeated daily become powerful results over time. Most people underestimate the power of consistency because they only focus on immediate rewards. But life rewards people who can stay committed long after the excitement disappears. The dangerous thing about motivation is that it can make people dependent on feelings. People say things like, I'll start tomorrow when I feel ready, or I'm waiting for the right mindset. But winners understand that action creates motivation, not the other way around. Sometimes you have to begin while feeling tired. Sometimes you have to work while feeling uncertain. Sometimes you have to move forward while carrying fear. Discipline teaches you to act regardless of emotion. And once you begin moving, momentum starts building. Discipline also creates self-respect. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, your confidence grows stronger. When you say you will wake up early and you actually do it, you trust yourself more. When you say you will study, train, work, or improve, and then follow through, you build inner strength. But every time you break promises to yourself, your confidence weakens. You begin doubting your own words. Discipline changes that. Discipline changes that. Discipline. It turns your words into actions. It turns dreams into habits. The truth is, life will never always feel perfect. There will always be distractions, stress, pressure, and obstacles. If you wait for perfect conditions, you will wait forever. Discipline allows you to perform under imperfect conditions. It teaches you how to stay focused during chaos. It teaches you how to stay committed even when results are invisible. Most people quit too early because they do not see immediate success. Disciplined people understand that success is delayed. They trust the process even when they cannot see progress yet. Imagine two people chasing the same goal. One depends on motivation. The other depends on discipline. The motivated person works hard only when emotions are high. Some weeks they give everything. Other weeks they disappear completely. Their effort is inconsistent. The disciplined person may not always feel excited, but they keep showing up daily. They continue improving step by step. T first, the difference between them may seem small. But over months and years, the disciplined person becomes unstoppable because consistency always beats occasional intensity. Discipline is also freedom. Many people think discipline is painful, restrictive, or stressful, but the opposite is true. Lack of discipline creates suffering. Lack of discipline creates regret, missed opportunities, financial problems, poor health, and wasted potential. Discipline gives you control over your life. It gives you the ability to shape your future intentionally instead of living reactively. When you are disciplined with your time, money, health, and mindset, you create opportunities that undisciplined people never experience. There is a powerful truth many people avoid. Your future is created by what you repeatedly do, not by what you occasionally feel. Feelings come and go, but habits build destiny. Discipline helps you create habits that align with your goals. And over time, those habits shape your identity. You stop becoming someone who only talks about dreams. You become someone who lives with purpose. Every successful person has moments where they wanted to quit. They had mornings where they felt exhausted and nights where they questioned themselves. But discipline carried them through the difficult seasons. Discipline whispered, keep going. Discipline pushed them one more step forward. And often that one extra step changed everything. You cannot control every situation in life, but you can control your response. You can choose whether excuses will control you or whether discipline will guide you. The moment you stop negotiating with your goals, your life changes. The moment you decide that your commitment matters more than your mood, your growth becomes unstoppable. Motivation can start the journey, but discipline finishes it. Motivation is temporary fire. Discipline is permanent fuel. Motivation talks about dreams. Discipline builds them. And when you learn to relate, wow, discipline instead of emotion, you become dangerous in the best possible way, because nothing can stop a person who keeps showing up no matter how they feel. Most people want success, but very few people are truly prepared for the pain that comes with it. Everybody loves the idea of winning. Everybody loves the spotlight, the money, the recognition, the applause, and the results. But behind every achievement is sacrifice, struggle, pressure, and pain that nobody sees. Growth has never been comfortable. Every new level in life demands a stronger version of you, and becoming stronger is never easy. Pain is not always a sign that something is wrong. Sometimes pain is proof that you are changing. Think about the gym. When muscles grow, they experience stress and resistance first. Without resistance, there is no strength. The same principle applies to life. Without challenges, there is no growth. Without discomfort, there is no transformation. The pain you avoid today may become the weed, a nest that limits your future tomorrow. A lot of people quit because they misunderstand pain. The moment life becomes difficult, they assume they are on the wrong path. But the truth is that every meaningful journey includes suffering. Every dream demands a price. Every goal requires sacrifice. If you want greatness, you must accept that struggle is part of the process. Success is not built in comfort zones. Comfort keeps people average because comfort never forces growth. When you chase something big, pressure will come. There will be days when you feel exhausted mentally, emotionally, and physically. There will be moments when you doubt yourself. Moments when progress feels invisible. Moments when people criticize you, misunderstand you, or ignore your effort. Those moments hurt, but pain has a purpose. Pain teaches lessons that comfort never can. Pain teaches patience. In a world obsessed with instant results, pain forces you to slow down and trust the process. It teaches you that. Meaningful success takes time. A tree does not grow overnight. A strong mindset does not appear instantly. Greatness is built gradually through repeated struggle. Every difficult moment is shaping your character, whether you realize it or not. Pain also teaches resilience. Anybody can stay positive when life is easy. But true strength is revealed during hard times. When everything feels heavy and you still keep moving forward, you discover what you are truly made of. Difficult seasons expose weakness, but they also build endurance. Every challenge you survive increases your confidence because you begin realizing that you are stronger than you once believed. There is a version of you that cannot exist without struggle. The disciplined version, the focused version, the mature version, the unstoppable version. That version is created through pressure. Diamonds are formed under pressure. Steel becomes strong through fire. Human beings are no different. Challenges shape identity. Adversity reveals potential. Many people pray for success but complain when life becomes difficult. They ask for greatness but avoid sacrifice. They want transformation without discomfort. But life does not work that way. Every level has a price. If you want financial freedom, you may have to sacrifice sleep, entertainment, and temporary comfort. If you want physical strength, you must endure soreness and fatigue. If you want emotional growth, you must face fear, rejection, and failure. Pain is the tuition you pay for growth. Failure itself is painful, but failure can become one of the greatest teachers in life. Every successful person has failed many times. Failure humbles you. It teaches you what does not work. It forces you to improve. It destroys arrogance and builds wisdom. The problem is that many people take failure personally. They believe failure means they are not good enough. But failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is part of success. Every mistake contains a lesson that can move you forward if you are willing to learn from it. Pain also develops gratitude. When you struggle, you begin appreciating things differently. You value opportunities more. You respect progress more. You become thankful for small victories because you understand how hard the journey truly is. People who never struggle often become careless because they do not understand the value of hard-earned growth. There are moments in life when the pressure feels unbearable. Moments when you feel alone. Moments when nobody understands your vision. Those are dangerous moments because quitting becomes tempting. But often the greatest breakthroughs happen right after the hardest battles. Many people give up too early because they cannot see what is being built behind the scenes. Growth is often invisible before it becomes visible. Think about a seed planted underground. Before anyone sees the tree, roots are developing in darkness. That process takes time. In the same way, your struggle. Glenn may be developing strength, wisdom, discipline, and patience that will support your future success. Just because you cannot see progress yet does not mean progress is not happening. Pain changes perspective. After surviving difficult situations, smaller problems no longer intimidate you. You become mentally tougher. You stop panicking under pressure because struggle has trained you. People who avoid pain often become emotionally weak because they never build endurance. But people who embrace struggle develop confidence that cannot be easily shaken. One of the biggest lies society tells people is that happiness means avoiding pain. Real growth often requires temporary discomfort. The student sacrifices free time to study. The athlete sacrifices comfort to trade. The entrepreneur sacrifices stability to build a vision. The parent sacrifices personal desires for family. Meaningful achievements always involve sacrifice because sacrifice proves commitment. Pain also reveals priorities. Ease. When life becomes hard, distractions lose power. Struggle forces clarity. You discover what truly matters. Hard seasons expose fake relationships, weak habits, and unhealthy mindsets. In that way, pain can protect you by removing things that no longer belong in your life. The strongest people are not those who never suffered. The strongest people are those who suffered and kept going anyway. They cried but continued. They failed but continued. They felt fear but continued. They felt fear but continued. Strength is not the absence of pain. Strength is learning how to move forward despite pain. You cannot grow by constantly choosing the easy path. Easy choices often create difficult lives later. Difficult choices often create easier lives later. Discipline is painful now, but regret is painful for much longer. Temporary sacrifice can produce permanent rewards. The willingness to endure discomfort separates those who dream from those who achieve. Every challenge in your life is either breaking you or building you, or depending on your mindset. If you see pain as punishment, you will resent the process. But if you see pain as preparation, you will grow through it. The struggle you are facing today may be developing the exact strength you will need tomorrow. One day you will look back at your hardest moments and realize they shaped you more than your easiest moments ever did. The nights you struggled taught you discipline. The failures taught you wisdom. The pressure taught you resilience. The rejection taught you independence. The pain forced growth that comfort never could. So do not run from discomfort. Do not fear difficult seasons. Embrace the lessons hidden inside the struggle. Because every level of greatness requires a stronger mind, a stronger heart, and a stronger spirit. And strength is never built through comfort alone. Most people underestimate the power of consistency because they are obsessed with quick results. They want success immediately. They want transformation overnight. You want recognition without repetition. But real greatness is never built in one moment. Greatness is built through small actions repeated every single day. The people who change their lives are usually not the people making massive moves once in a while. They are the people making disciplined moves consistently, even when nobody notices. Consistency is powerful because it creates momentum. A single workout may not change your body, but repeated workouts over months can completely transform you. Reading one page may seem small, but reading every day can change your mindset, knowledge, and future. Saving a little money regularly can eventually create wealth. Small actions seem insignificant in the moment, but over time they create extraordinary results. That is how success works. Success is usually quiet at first. It grows slowly before it becomes visible. The problem is that most people stop too early because they expect immediate rewards. They plant seeds and they quit because they do not see growth instantly. But life rewards patience and persistence. A tree takes years to become strong. Muscles take time to develop. Skills take time to master. Confidence takes time to build. Consistency teaches you to trust the process even when progress feels invisible. Many people are motivated in the beginning. They start strong, full of energy and excitement. But after some time, reality appears. The work becomes repetitive. The results slow down. The excitement fades. That is where most people quit. But the people who succeed understand something important. Consistency matters more than intensity. It is better to give steady effort every day than to work extremely hard once in a while and disappear afterward. Think about water hitting a rock. One drop does not seem powerful, but over time, constant pressure can shape stone. That is the power of consistency. Repeated effort changes things slowly until one day the results become undeniable. Most people only notice success when it becomes visible, but they ignore the thousands of disciplined actions that created it behind the scenes. Consistency also builds trust in yourself. Every time you show up for your goals, you strengthen your identity. You begin seeing yourself as someone reliable, focused, and disciplined. But when you constantly quit and restart, you weaken your confidence because you stop believing your own promises. Consistency teaches your mind that you are serious. It transforms dreams into habits and habits into lifestyle. The truth is that motivation is unreliable. Some days you feel inspired and other days you feel exhausted. If you only work when you feel motivated, your progress will always be unstable. Consistency means showing up regardless of emotion. It means doing the work when you feel like it and when you do not. It means understanding that discipline creates results while excuses create regret. One of the biggest reasons people fail is because they underestimate the value owed. Small improvements, they think small actions do not matter. But improvement compounds over time. Getting 1% better every day may seem small, but over months and years, it creates massive transformation. Tiny disciplined choices repeated daily can completely change a person's future. Imagine two people starting at the same point. One improves slightly every day while the other stays comfortable and inconsistent. At first, the difference between them is almost invisible. But after months and years, the gap becomes enormous. The consistent person develops stronger habits, more knowledge, greater confidence, and better opportunities. Success is rarely about dramatic moments. It is usually about repeated effort over a long period of time. Consistency also trains the mind to become stronger. Every time you continue despite boredom, fatigue, or frustration, you build mental toughness. Repetition is not always exciting, but repetition creates mastery. Athletes repeat drills thousands of times. Musicians practice endlessly. Successful speakers rehearse repeatedly. Greatness is hidden inside repetition. People often admire the performance, but ignore the years of consistent preparation behind it. There will be days when progress feels slow. Days when you wonder if your effort even matters. Those moments are dangerous because discouragement can tempt you to quit. But often the greatest progress is happening beneath the surface. Just because results are invisible does not mean growth is absent. A seed underground looks inactive before it eventually breaks through the surface. In the same way, your consistency may be building unseen strength, skills, and discipline that will eventually produce visible success. Consistency is especially important during difficult seasons. Anybody can stay focused when life feels easy, but when challenges appear, consistency becomes a test of character. Will you continue when results are delayed? Will you continue when nobody supports? Will you continue when you feel tired? Those moments define your future. Winners are not always the most talented people. Often they are simply the people who refuse to stop. A lot of people believe success comes from one big opportunity, but opportunities usually come to people who have already prepared consistently. When the opportunity arises, the consistent person is ready because they spent years developing skills and discipline. People often call them lucky, but what they call luck is usually preparation meeting opportunity. Consistency also creates freedom. When positive habits become automatic, life becomes easier to manage. Consistent study improves knowledge. Consistent exercise improves health. Consistent effort improves finances, relationships, and confidence. The opposite is also true. Negative habits repeated consistently create negative outcomes. Small, bad decisions repeated over time can destroy potential just as easily as small, good decisions can build it. One of the hardest parts about consistency is that it often feels boring. Human beings naturally crave excitement and instant rewards. But success requires learning how to stay committed during ordinary days. Most of life is not dramatic. Most growth happens quietly through routine and repetition. The people who learn to master ordinary days eventually create extraordinary lives. You do not need to become perfect overnight. You do not need giant leaps every day. What matters is continuing forward. Even slow progress is still progress. A small step daily is more powerful than occasional bursts of effort followed by long periods of inactivity. Consistency wins because it keeps momentum alive. There will always be distractions trying to pull you away from your goals. Social media, comfort, fear, entertainment, excuses, and doubt will compete for your attention. Consistency requires focus. It requires remembering why you started. It requires protecting your habits even when life becomes chaotic. That is not easy, but nothing valuable comes easily. The people you admire most are usually not extraordinary because of talent alone. They became extraordinary because they refused to quit. They kept practicing when others stopped. They kept learning when others got distracted. They kept improving when others became comfortable. Their success is the result of repeated efforts stacked day after day, year after year. At the end of life, your future will not be shaped by random moments of motivation. It will be shaped by what you consistently did with your time, energy, and focus. Your habits create your reality. Your routines shape your identity. Your repeated actions determine your destiny. So stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop depending on temporary excitement. Focus on daily discipline. Focus on steady improvement. Focus on showing up every single day, even when nobody notices. Because small actions repeated consistently are never truly small. Over time, they become the foundation of greatness. Hard work does more than create success. Hard work changes who you are. It changes your mindset, your habits, your confidence, your discipline, and the way you see yourself. Many people think hard work is only about achieving goals, making money, or gaining recognition, but the greatest reward of hard work is transformation. The process itself shapes your identity. Over time, you stop becoming someone who only dreams about greatness and become someone capable of living it. Your identity is built through repeated actions. Every day, your habits are teaching you who you are. If you constantly avoid responsibility, choose comfort, and quit when things become difficult, you slowly build the identity of someone who doubts themselves. But when you consistently work hard, push through discomfort, and stay committed to growth, you begin building the identity of a disciplined person. Confidence grows because your actions begin proving your strength to yourself. People want confidence before they take action. They wait to feel ready, fearless, or motivated before they start chasing goals. But confidence is not created by waiting. Confidence is created through action. Every time you do difficult work, you prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you once believed. Hard work creates evidence. It shows your mind that you can survive pressure, overcome challenges, and keep moving even when life becomes difficult. Think about someone who trains every day. At first, the workouts feel painful. The body feels weak, and the mind wants to quit. But over time, something changes. The person becomes stronger physically, but they also become mentally tougher. They begin seeing themselves differently. They stop identifying as weak or lazy because their daily actions no longer match that identity. The same thing happens in every area of life. Hard work rewrites self-perception. Your environment may shape you temporarily, but your habits shape you, permanently. When you commit to hard work consistently, you create structure and discipline in your life. You stop relying on feelings. You stop making excuses. You stop negotiating with your goals. That discipline slowly becomes part of your character. Eventually, working hard no longer feels forced because it becomes part of who you are. One of the biggest reasons people stay stuck is because they are emotionally attached to an old version of themselves. They want success, but they still think like the person they used to be. They still behave like someone who fears failure, avoids discomfort, and seeks easy paths. Transformation requires identity change. You cannot become extraordinary while holding on to average habits. Hard work creates that shift because it forces you to grow beyond your limitations. Hard work also changes your standards. When you push yourself consistently, your tolerance for excuses decreases. You stop accepting mediocrity from yourself. You realize how much ace potential you actually have, and once you see your potential, it becomes painful to live below it. That is one of the most powerful effects of discipline. It raises your expectations for your own life. The process of working hard teaches patience as well. In today's world, many people are addicted to instant gratification. They want fast success, quick rewards, and immediate recognition. But hard work teaches delayed gratification. It teaches you to sacrifice short-term comfort for long-term growth. That mindset changes everything because people who master delayed gratification can achieve things that impatient people never will. Hard work also builds emotional strength. Life will test everyone eventually. There will be rejection, failure, criticism, pressure, disappointment, and uncertainty. People who avoid hard work often struggle emotionally because they never develop resilience. But people who consistently challenge themselves become mentally stronger over time. They learn how to stay calm under pressure. They learn how to recover from setbacks. They learn that temporary pain does not have to control their future. There is something powerful about knowing you earned your progress. When you work hard for something, you value it differently. Whether it is knowledge, fitness, success, money, or skill, effort creates appreciation. People who receive everything easily often take things for granted. But those who struggle, sacrifice, and work relentlessly develop gratitude because they understand the cost of growth. Hard work also changes the way others see you. People may doubt you in the beginning. They may ignore your effort, criticize your ambition, or underestimate your potential. But consistent hard work eventually becomes impossible to ignore. Over time, people begin respecting discipline because discipline produces results. More importantly, you stop needing validation from others because your work creates internal confidence. One of the greatest transformations that hard work creates is self-respect. Deep inside, every person knows when they are wasting potential. That feeling creates frustration and regret. But when you work hard, even if you have not reached your goals yet, you feel proud because you know you are becoming better. Self-respect grows when your actions align with your values and ambitions. Hard work also reveals hidden abilities. Many people have talents, strengths, and potential they never discover because they quit too early. Difficulty often hides opportunity. The moment when you feel like giving up is sometimes the exact moment when growth is about to happen. Hard work pushes you beyond limits you once believed were permanent. It forces you to discover strength you did not know existed inside you. There is a major difference between wishing for success and becoming the kind of person who can handle success. Success without discipline can destroy people because they lack the mindset to sustain it. Hard work prepares you for responsibility. It prepares your mind for pressure, sacrifice, and leadership. The process develops character before the rewards arrive. Many people focus only on external transformation. They want a better body, more money, more opportunities, or recognition. But the internal transformation matters even more. Hard work changes your mindset from weak to resilient, from fearful to courageous, from lazy to disciplined. Those internal changes affect every part of life because mindset shapes behavior and behavior shapes destiny. Every difficult task you complete strengthens your identity. Every challenge you overcome becomes proof that you are evolving. Over time, the things that once felt impossible begin feeling normal. Waking up early becomes normal. Staying disciplined becomes normal. Handling pressure becomes normal. That is because hard work reshapes your standards and capabilities. People often admire successful individuals without understanding who they had to be. Only to achieve that success, behind every achievement is a person who learned discipline, sacrifice, patience, focus, and resilience. Those qualities were not magically given to them. They were developed through years of hard work. Hard work transforms not only results, but also perspective. You begin understanding that obstacles are not always enemies. Challenges become opportunities to grow stronger. Failure becomes feedback. Pressure becomes preparation. Instead of fear and discomfort, you begin embracing it because you realize discomfort often leads to transformation. The person who avoids hard work stays trapped in the same patterns, fears, and limitations. But the person who embraces hard work continuously evolves. They become stronger mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Growth becomes part of their identity. Improvement becomes a lifestyle. At some point, hard work stops being something you do and becomes someone you are. You no longer need constant motivation beat because discipline has become natural. You stop chasing shortcuts because you trust the process. You stop fearing challenges because you know challenges are shaping you into something greater. That is why hard work changes identity. It does not just build success around you. It builds strength within you. And the strongest thing a person can become is someone who knows they can depend on themselves no matter what life brings. Before you close this video, I need you to understand something. Your life is not going to change because you watch motivation. Your life is going to change when you decide to move differently after this moment. Information alone will not transform you. Inspiration alone will not transform you. Action will. Right now, there are two versions of you fighting for control. One version wants comfort. One version wants greatness. One version makes excuses. One version makes progress. One version says, maybe tomorrow. The other version says, start now. And the decision you make after this video will determine which version wins. Listen carefully. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody's going to wake up every morning and force you to chase your dreams. Nobody's going to hand you success because you want it badly. You have to become obsessed with growth, obsessed with discipline, obsessed with becoming stronger mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Because the truth is, average habits create average lives. If you keep sleeping on your potential, if you keep delaying your goals, if you keep choosing comfort over growth, years will pass, and one day you will look at your life filled with regret, wondering what could have happened if you had just stayed disciplined. Do not let that happen to you. You were not born to live small. You were not born to waste your talent. You were not born to spend your whole life doubting yourself while watching other people achieve greatness. There is something powerful inside of you. But for what does mean nothing without action? The dream you want, the body you want, the mindset you want, the success you want, it is all waiting on the other side of hard work. And yes, the journey will hurt sometimes. There will be lonely nights. There will be failures. There will be moments when you feel exhausted and misunderstood. But remember this, every champion was once unknown. Every master was once a beginner. Every successful person once struggled in silence before the world noticed them. So stop being afraid of the process. The struggle is building you. The pressure is shaping you. The discipline is transforming you into someone stronger than you have ever been before. And one day your results will speak so loudly that nobody will be able to ignore your effort anymore. But it starts with one decision. Not next week, not next month, right now. Decide that quitting is no longer an option. Decide that excuses no longer control your future. Decide that your goals matter more than temporary comfort. Because when you become addicted to hard work, something incredible happens. You stop chasing motivation. You stop depending on other people's approval. You stop fearing challenges. You become unstoppable. So after this video ends, do not just feel inspired for 5 minutes and then return to old habits. Take action, move differently, work harder, stay disciplined. And remember, the future belongs to the people who keep going when everybody else quits.